Hey there, Rednecks, Preppies, Redneck Preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great? Good. Today, a long-term review of Staun tire deflators. Now, if you're an off-roader, chances are you know all about deflating your tires and why you do it. Sand guys and gals, they typically, from what I understand it at least, because I'm not really a sand guy, deflate their tires so that they have more tread on the sand and it gives them better purchase. For us rock guys, the reason why we do it is kind of twofold. Again, for that reason, deflating a tire gives you more tread on rocks, so technically or hopefully you get better purchase. But we also do it for comfort too, because a fully inflated tire bouncing around on rocks, not the greatest ride in the world. So you use a tire deflator. Now there are basically three different ways of deflating your tire. The most popular choice is using a tire deflator gauge, kind of like is made by ARB. That's the most popular one. And that's basically you're screwing it in and then you're releasing air until you get to your pressure that you're desiring. The problem with them is that a lot of people find them difficult to use because essentially you're removing the valve core from your tire to release air. And if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't get that valve core back in, once you release the tire deflator, boop, that valve core goes flying sometimes. And then, you have to try and get it back in there. If you don't know how to do it, it can be very stressful, particularly when all the tire is out of your tire. Now you have to reflate that tire somewhat in order to get to where it was that you were hoping to be. There's also the other way, and I've done it myself, there's nothing wrong with it, is basically depressing the valve core yourself with an object or whatever, releasing air and then testing it with a tire pressure gauge till you finally get to where you're going. Takes a long time to do it that way, but it is a way of doing it, and I've done it myself on the trail. The problem with those two methods is that you have to do each tire individually, one by one. So obviously it takes 4 times as long to do all 4 tires as it would be to do a tire singly or all together at the same time. And that's where the Staun tire deflators come into play. By using this, you screw one in to each one of your tires and they're all deflated at the exact same time to the same specified pressure that you want. Saves you time, it's much easier, and you can go off and do other things to get ready for your day on the trails. So today I'm going to take a look at the Staun tire deflator, how it works, how to set it up, and I'm going to give you a little tip on how to set one up and then set the other 3 up quite easily. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope the review informs you at least on whether this is something that you'd be interested in. So normally this is where I would do the unboxing part of any review, but there's not exactly a lot to unbox. This is what you're getting when you buy them. So I'll tell you a little bit about the company at least before I open these up. So Staun Tire Deflators, an Australian company, as you might have gathered from the Commonwealth-esque spelling of tire. Australia, of course, the home of criminal descendants, hot babes with cool accents, and a tremendous 4-wheel drive community. There's a ton of YouTube channels hosted by Australians, kind of showcasing their cool and crazy scene out there. So be sure to check them out. I think you'll be greatly entertained by them. Anyway, let's open this up. So it comes in this leather pouch, and this is real leather. They did not cheap out with the pleather or the PU leather or whatever else. And you get 4 of these. Now, you will forgive mine because they are a little bit grimy, but that's because I actually use these things. There is some weight to them. I have owned Chinese clones of these in the past before I stumped and bought these. Those things are as light as a feather. These got a little bit of weight to them. Very nicely made out of brass. You got some knurled surfaces for easy turnification. Yeah, that's it. There's really not much to say. They are very nicely made. Now, they come in 3 different sizes, and there's a graphic up right now which illustrates them. There's the light duty, which you'll find for competitive rock crawlers and dune buggies. You've got your standard, which most people will use, 6 to 30 psi, and you got these heavy duty 15 to 15 psi, or 55 psi, sorry. I kind of wish I had bought the standard PSI, to be honest with you. I'd like to go lower than 15 sometimes when I go rock crawling, and I'm kind of limited by these. So standard is probably what you'll want to buy. You can also get a mixed pack of for your camper / trailer, which features 2 standard and 2 heavy duty as part of the package that you get. That's about it. Like I said, obviously very well made. You got yourself a natty little pouch there, and this is what you're getting for $175 to $200 Canadian, or I would guess about $120 to $150 US. In Canada, I'm not sure where you can buy them outside of Amazon.ca. That's where I got these. And in the United States, presumably you can get them on Amazon, as well as a whole bunch of other off-road places. You will see clones of these for sale for about $15 to $30 on Amazon. I would strongly urge you to avoid them. If you're going to go with this style of tire deflators, and I would recommend it, go with Staun's. Don't buy the clones. Trust me on this one. Okay, let's go over some of the claims made by Staun in regards to their Stawnies, as they have dubbed them. They say they're fully adjustable. Agreed. Can't argue with that. Each deflator has an adjustment range specific to the level of deflation you require. Can't argue with that. Easy to use, not requiring any tools. As long as you've got 2 fingers, you're going to be able to use these things. And they also say they're highly accurate, deflating to within a 1/4 pound PSI of the preset pressure they've been adjusted to. I can't measure that level of precision, but they're always dead on when I use them, so I'll have to agree with that. Smallest tire deflators available. I don't know if that's the case, but they certainly aren't big. And one of the lightest, weighing only 32 grams or 1.13 ounces. Sure, I'll give them that. 100% brass. Agreed. I'm not a metallurgist, but from what I can tell, they are completely brass. And they say they're the fastest deflators on the market. Sure, I'll have to agree with that as well. They certainly do a very quick job when I use them. So, all their claims certainly check out. I cannot disagree. I have said it before in this review, and I'll say it again. I'm very impressed with these tire deflators. They do the job, and they do it very well. Okay, so to use these, you just simply take your tire deflator and screw it in to your tire. Pretty darn simple. And air will immediately start coming out. Once it stops, as it just did, you know you've reached your desired tire pressure. Okay, to set up a tire deflator, you screw this cap down all the way to the bottom. And let's say that the tire is set for the pressure that you want. Then you begin to gradually take this out. And once you hear air start to come out, you know that's where your tire pressure is. Unscrew it, and then set it by putting that jam nut right back at the top. And boom, it's now set up for the same tire pressure as you've reduced it to your desired level. Easy peasy. Hey, so earlier in the video I mentioned a quick and easy way of setting these things up without having to set up each individual tire deflator. And let me show you, it's pretty darn simple. All you need though is a pair of calipers. So if you don't have one of these, this might be a little harder for you. So you've got yourself one tire deflator which has been set up, and in this case this one's set up for 12 psi. Now I realize that's probably a little high for rock crawling. Most people prefer between 6 and 8. I prefer 12. That's just my personal choice. It's up to you how you set it up with. You take your calipers and you measure from the top of the deflator to the bottom. And I have a measurement of 1.444 inches. So now I know that a tire deflator that's 1.444 inches is going to get me to 12 psi. Then take the next one and I loosen the jam nut here, and then I just basically dial it in until it hits that exact same measurement, because theoretically if you do the exact same measurement, you're going to get the exact same result. Repeat that 3 times for your other 3 tire deflators. Bam, you're done. You've set up all 3 tire deflators by just having one that's set up. Saves you some time. Hope that helps you. So there you have it. There's your Staun tire deflators. Would I recommend them? Yes, provided that you're willing to spend, anywhere from about $175 to $200 Canadian, which is typically what you find them for on Amazon's website. Can you buy cheaper ones? Yes, absolutely. You can get them from other companies like Rugged Ridge. They sell a set for about half the price. And there are Chinese knockoffs that you can buy anywhere from $20 to $40. I don't have any experience with the Rugged Ridge ones, so I can't say anything definitive about them one way or another. The Chinese knockoffs, I have used them, and I find that while they seem to be reasonably well made, I get very poor repeatability with them. I can plug in one tire deflator into a tire, get one air pressure, put it on another one, and then get a different air pressure. So you get what you pay for. I really would not recommend the Chinese versions. I can't speak to the other companies' products like Rugged Ridge. I can speak, however, for the Staun tire deflators. Yes, you are paying a lot of money for them, no question about it, but I find that they're extremely well made, and I always get the exact same result regardless of how many times I use them and whether I put the same one in a different tire just to test them. They always go down to the exact same air pressure that I've set previous. So at the end of the day, it's really up to you. And as I said earlier in the video, do you need these? No. At the end of the day, you can just use your fingernail and a tire pressure gauge and get yourself down to that air pressure if you're willing to spend that much time individually on each tire. But with the Staun tire deflators, you can basically put all 4 of them on pretty much at the same time, let your tires deflate to the pressure that you want them to, while you're doing something else, getting ready to go off-roading. So, yes, I recommend them, but only if you're willing to spend the money. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, may you have a great day and enjoy your time out on the trails. Take care.